Señor Chingus, welcome to this political, historical, sociological channel. Today I want to share with you the law in Mexico, the initiative of law in Mexico about the change of gender of the kids, of the minors. This initiative was presented by the local deputy of Morena, Temitotles Villanueva, and seeks to allow the change of gender identity as an administrative procedure. The Trans Childhood Law Initiative seeks to integrate reforms to the civil code and civil procedures of the Federal District of or City of Mexico, which guarantee the free determination and expression of gender identity to children and teenage. The document indicates that any person may request the issuance of a new birth certificate before the civil registry for the recognition of gender identity. But what are the requirements? Original and copy of your official identification, original and copy of proof of address. This law was promoted on 2021, but I think it's very important to know because it must be required on the company of at least one parent of guardian. Subsequently, the judge will interview the minor so that he/she may express his/her free and informed will. America Rangel, local congresswoman, took gender ideology as a reference point to present her initiative in the Congress of Mexico City. But what does this concept refer to? The proposed law initiative presented by the Congresswoman sought to open a debate on trans children and the right to decide about their bodies. Using gender ideology activists as a point of reference, the local deputy proposed sanctions for adults who promote and force minors to take hormones to change their bodies. Minors still do not have the necessary intellectual maturity to fully understand the implications of these decisions, something that in theory we all agree with or were until recently, because in spite of this, a few years ago, in front of our noses, gender ideology activists managed to make society see with normality that minors underwent hormone treatments or surgeries to change their sex or raising their gender, she said in the Tribune last February 9. America Rangel assured that the initiative that seeks to reform the law of the rights of girls, boys, and adolescents in the local and teenage in the local penal code wants to prohibit minors to undergo treatments and surgeries to change gender and to punish with jail those who perform this type of procedures on minors, seek to strictly prohibit minors from undergoing sex change or gender reassignment treatments, in addition to punish of 2 to 7 years of prison for any adult who convinces or forces a minor to undergo a treatment to change the gender with which he or she was born, and a penalty of 3 to 10 years for an adult who applies a treatment to change the gender with which he or she was born. Consciousness is the highest form of mental activity, which is unique to humans and inaccessible to animals. With the help of consciousness, man reflects his environment, the closest social environment, and his own inner world. It is in the field of pediatrics that this relationship becomes even more complicated. The patient is no longer a legally capable person whose autonomy in decision making is recognized without any restriction. Here we are dealing with a vulnerable being, often immature, and the doctor-patient relationship is no longer a two-part relationship, but the role of a third party. At that time, the patient's parents and or legal representative or trusted adult in this care takes on a preponderant role. Seen in this way, medical decision-making produces a permanent tension between medical paternalism, even more accentuated in this case, because it's about children, which almost naturally predisposes adults to behave in pursuit of their protection and care, and even disregarding their opinions. The autonomy of the pediatric patient, a situation which in most cases presents seriously resistance to its acceptance, and the exercise of parental authority, which implies the set of rights and obligations aimed at the protection, care, and development of their children, which implies adopting decisions of various kinds of their behalf. It should be taken into account that the competence or incompetence consisting in the possibility of deciding by oneself to undergo treatment. But I think that it's very important we allow children from an early age some autonomy and freedom to express themselves as they are and to make small decisions on a daily basis. This way, we show them account and that we are sensitive to their needs and interests, and that we are favoring at the same time their learning and decision-making capacity, as well as the development of their personal identity and self-esteem. However, to help them develop fully and reach all the resources that facilitate their personal growth and learning, rules and limits will also be essential, since children do not have enough cognitive development to decide what is the best for them. And learning to comply with rules and adjust to them increases their capacity for self-control and to postpone the immediate satisfaction of their desires, improving their tolerance to frustration. When to let children choose. I think that is very important. Let them choose, for example, with clothing. We can give them a choice between two clothes options. Also, talk is very important with toys and leisure time. When we are going to buy a toy for day, we can let them choose the one they like the most, but it will be important to limit the options to make sure it's in accordance and appropriate of the child's age and characteristics. In their free time, they can choose to play whatever they want, but they cannot choose the time or the duration of the play because they have school tasks. And these are the first things they have to do. They can also choose their hobby if they like draw, sing, dance, because this is greatly enhances for their cognitive development. And this completion of the cards and school activities must be mandatory. But they can choose something as complicated as undergoing treatments to change their gender because they don't really have a conscience or care about those things. Plus, their perception of reality is still very manipulative and their decisions are changeable. Like, for example, with food. They may want a burrito and a few seconds later prefer pizza, depending on the impulses they have at the moment. I think it's very important that early childhood decisions were taken by the parents and they decide with conscience when they were of age majority and not influenced by a political group of masons. I would really like to know in the comments what do you think about this. If you like, I love if you give me thumbs up, share, and help me to get more people. If you like and you want to see more content like this, I would really like and love if you subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and see you next time. Bye!